Next up, we're going to move on to the Lions wrap up, giving you a quick roundup of everything that's happened today. And here is Susie Walker, VP of Awards and Insights at Lions, to help us pull out the key stories from today. Welcome again. What have you got for us?
So I've got another 10 hot stories today from our content on demand and our awards. So I'll kick straight off with number 10. So this is Entertainment Lines for Music, and we've awarded not one but two Grand Prix today. And one of them is Feed Parade by Gut in Sao Paulo. And in the debrief, we heard how the jury loved the message of unification. So when people couldn't be together because of the pandemic, they really united the LGBT community through digital awesomeness. So let's have a look.
Gloria Groove is the biggest LGBTQ plus artist in Brazil. And the peak of her connection with the community happens during the world's biggest pride parade. The parade was canceled. We photographed every square meter of the avenue where the parade traditionally happens and turned its 2.5 kilometers into an Instagram feed. Gloria and a group of influencers invited people to join the feed parade. And to do so, they just had to comment on one of the photos to be tagged. The 60,000 people who did so had their names eternalized on Gloria's new music video.
So successful, that one.
Yeah, incredible. And actually now we're going to go behind the scenes of that Grand Prix and hear from the ECD, Bruno Brooks. And it's an incredible story about how the work was made in only 20 days. And the speed of delivery, you know, has been a real theme this week. Production, it's really been intensified in the pandemic. So let's take a look at what he had to say.
It was a huge production challenge to create this Instagram feed with 279 pictures, all taken from above on Paulista Avenue, which is an iconic street here in Brazil. So we took picture by picture, 279 of them, and manually we had to upload them onto the Instagram feed. And when the feed went live, people went just crazy with it. Like we had like 50 comments per second. And the most beautiful thing is that the community felt the truth in it.
What's next?
Okay, so we're going to stay on entertainment and culture, and this is a story around one of our content on demand films. It's by Mattel with High Snobiety, and they tell the story of their unique collaboration, and they have a really interesting approach to partnering with artists. And Mattel is obviously a brand with a really strong heritage, so it's fascinating to hear how they create cultural relevance. So let's have a look.
I started to think about, in the context of our history, certainly, and inspired by the origin story, how do I bring a new sense of cultural relevance to Mattel? Part of that is the ability for us to connect our toys to culture through artists, through designers, through the fashion community. When you think about our toys, they're iconic form factors. I could show you a doll, an 11.5-inch silhouette. Probably, I could lay money down that most people say, oh, it's a Barbie doll. It's a form factor. So really all we're doing is offering these iconic form factors to artists as canvases.
Number 7, please.
Okay, so 7, we're going to go over to film Craft Lines, and it's about a French production company, Division Paris, who've had a real winning streak today. So they've picked up 5 lines today, including 2 golds for Francesca, for Diesel, and it's a film promoting acceptance and openness. So let's have a look.
There is nothing really sinful about how we were born. It's not a matter of who we are, but what we do.
Great campaign there.
Yeah, incredible, incredible. So our next story is another first. It's the PR company, global PR company, Edelman, and they won their first ever Grand Prix today, and Entertainment Lines for Sport for their Eternal Run for ASICS, and they invented a race without a finish line. It was to promote the technical capabilities of a new running shoe. But what's really interesting about this is it really demonstrates the evolving role of PR companies. They're becoming really pivotal for strategic brand building. So let's have a look.
When we looked at the category, every other brand was really sort of obsessed with the elite few that cross the finish line, where real runners obsess about their next finish line and their finish line after that. So we really wanted to sort of challenge this sense of short-term winning and sort of show our connection to runners and running, and what really separates us from the competition. And we believe that's our mindset, and so we thought the best way to test a shoe that saves a runner's energy is we challenge the one eternal thing of like every race, which is the finish line itself. So we kind of asked the question, what happens when we remove the finish line?
I think we have 5 more highlights to go.
Yep, good. Yep, keeping up. So this is a story about a change in tack in marketing strategy. So the content on demand films cover the latest approaches in creativity and how to engage customers. So here is the CEO of Bertic, and he's talking about his share of life approach. And he thinks that too many brands are focused on engagement when really they should be thinking about entanglement. So that's how brands can be woven into the habits and rituals of people's everyday lives. So let's have a look.
Because Amazon has just inserted themselves into, it's part of my core existence. I'm not longer thinking about when I'm ordering something from Amazon, when I'm streaming a movie from the Amazon Prime, downloading some of their music. I'm not thinking about it. And I think that's a key element here, that it's just becoming part of our habits, part of our life, that we simply just is having that relationship. I'm not thinking about that I'm paying it. I actually perceive that I'm getting quite great value out of it.
Entanglement over engagement. That's a great takeaway.
Yeah, and actually another example of entanglement is via gaming giants Fortnite. So they have such an established gaming community that they were able to break out of the confines of gaming, and they created a virtual rap music concert with Travis Scott, and 28 million people attended.
That's incredible.
I know. And so here we're going to see the Digital Craft jury president talking about why it impressed the jury so much. Let's have a look.
I think when you break it down, it's a real sum of its crafted parts. If you look at it from kind of a storytelling point of view, a brilliantly crafted story which they knew was going to resonate well with that audience. And then you look at the art direction of it as well. You obviously start in the game, but then it's just wild. You go here and you go here, and then you end up here. It's like that's an incredible art direction all the way through. And then you look at kind of the technological side of it as well. So the technology side of it, how it was made, how it was developed, how it was embedded into the game. So when you look at it in that way and break down all of those different elements of craft, that's what ultimately made it the Grand Prix winner for us.
Seriously impressive stuff.
Yeah, incredible. So let me take you now another story about a first-time win. So Taiwan have won their first ever Grand Prix at Cannes Lions, and it's in the Entertainment Lions, and it's by Dentsu Magari Bowen from Taipei City, and they won for In Love We Trust, and it's for Shinny, and it's a really heartwarming piece. It seeks to remind young couples about the importance of building a home. So let's have a look.
In Taiwan, the divorce rate keeps rising. The willingness to get married is an important driving force to buy houses. Shinny Realty wants to do something about the low marriage rate. The film depicts a story of a girl who works in the household registration office. One day, she meets an old man who lost his wife, but keeps her name in his heart forever. She learned there's an unchanging love that can surpass life's separation. While the internet was hotly discussing to marry or not to marry, we broadcast the film to encourage young people not to be afraid of marriage. Netizens were touched by the film, left comments, and shared it.
Great for Taiwan to get that recognition there.
Incredible. Really, really pleased for them.
So 3 to go.
Yeah, 2 actually.
2 to go. Lost count. Long day.
Just 2. Well, at least I think it's 2. But for this penultimate story, we're going to go back to content on demand. And in the past year at Lions, we've run a series called What I've Learned, and it's creative legends sharing lessons from their career. So for Cannes Lions Live, Piyush Pandey has been talking about his career. He has won over 40 Lions himself. I'm sure it's more. And he's the CCO of Ogilvy Worldwide. And he talks really eloquently about how creativity under constraint pushes us to be our best selves. So let's have a look.
The more you're pushed, the better self comes out. Opportunity came once in a very, very difficult fashion. Commonwealth Games were being held in India, and they were about to start. And I get a call from the chairman of the Indian Railway Board. He said, I have a crisis, can you come and help? And I walked into his room and he said, listen, we major sponsors of the Commonwealth Games and we don't have an ad. I said, okay, then you will not interfere with me and I won't be insincere with you. I can't shoot your trains. I can't shoot your locomotives. I have 2 days' time. So I went and shot this commercial making a human train. When the Commonwealth Games were over, 3,000 volunteers formed a human train and ran around all over the stadium with the same track playing. It was a fantastic moment for me.
And Susie, your final highlights for today.
Yeah, so you know I like to end on a winner reaction, and it's one of our favourite things at Lions HQ is letting people know that they've won Lions. So this is a really wonderful reaction from 72 and Sunny, who won the other Grand Prix in entertainment, and it was a really nice start to their day, I think, when they found out. So let's have a look.
Anne reached out this morning, and it's some really important news that Swipe Night won the Grand Prix in Entertainment Lions! Oh my god! And I'm so happy and
holy shit!
You guys.
Wow! That's fucking amazing! Wow!
Good morning!
Pure joy. I love watching those reactions. Will you bring us some more tomorrow?
I have got a really good one for you tomorrow.
Okay.
So let's have a look. Yeah, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, we won't have a look now. We will wait and see tomorrow. Thank you so much, Susie. Susie will be back with 10 more highlights tomorrow and on Friday. Let's take a short break now, and I will run you through what we have coming up.